Alright, it is just shy of 8 o'clock on Friday morning, and I just got dropped off here at Watauga Lake. You see it there in the background. I think I'm going to probably do about 16 miles today, up to Iron Mountain Shelter area. At least I know there's some water up there right before the shelter. Got a pretty good climb. Wow, look at that. That's awesome. Pretty cool. But so far it looks like today's going to be pretty good. The only thing is, apparently this next section of trail here is pretty heavy with bear activity, so they don't want you staying around this area. So, which is strange because I very rarely ever see bears when I come out here anyway. But here I am trying to give you guys some tips and tricks for, you know, wanting to go out and hike solo. And first place I take you is a place that's heavy laden with bears, but I'm not really overly worried about that. They usually don't bother you too much. But as I said, it looks like it's going to be a great day. It's not hot yet, so I'm going to keep pressing on. I got about a 2,000 foot climb here after I get around the lake and past the dam. So I will take videos and pictures and everything as the day progresses. Until later on.
If I could bottle the smell of the wetland after the rain,
They're out there.
make it a perfume, send it to your house. If 1 in a million stars suddenly will hit satellite, I'll pick up some pieces, they'll be on your way. In the far land across, you standing at the sea, then the wind blows the sand, and that little stars that guide me. If only I could find my way to the ocean, I'm already there with you. If somewhere down the line we will never get to meet, I'll always wait for you after the rain. So if I could bottle the smell of the wetland after the rain, make it a perfume, send it to your house, yeah. 1 in a million stars.
I don't know if you can tell right there, but there's a little blue blaze right there on that tree. And that side trail right there leads down to Venter Shelter. I've got a little bit of water left, so I don't think I'm going to get under the shelter. It's 3/10 of a mile down a steep blue blaze trail to the water source, and I think it's 2/10 down to the shelter. So I think I'm just going to crash right here for about a half hour, have a nice little lunch break. It started to rain there for a little while, probably about 9 o'clock, right after I left Watauga Dam. And actually heading northbound, it's a nice climb to up to where I'm at right now. So I believe I'll be following ridgeline for quite a ways. 6.8 miles to Iron Mountain Gap Shelter, where I'm going to stay tonight. So far I've seen a frog, a snake, and a guy was out running southbound, said he saw a bear about a half mile from where we were at when I met him. And of course I didn't get a chance to see that, so unfortunate, but it's maybe someday. I think I smell really bad. But I'm going to go ahead and get some food in my belly, and I'm going to take a little breather, and then I got 6.8 to get to the next shelter, where I'll be wrapping up my day, I think, and just kind of relaxing. So it's turning out to be a pretty good day. Pretty good day.
I'll pick up some pieces, they'll be on your way. In a far land across, you standing at the sea, then the wind blows the sand, and that little star is that a guide me.
As you can see, that's the water source I just had to use. I apologize for not filming that. I used the Sawyer mini squeeze, and one of the few downfalls with that that water filtration is the fact that I had to scoop that out with a little cup. But other than that, I would have filmed it, but I was just a little dehydrated. I ran out of water a little bit ago, and I just needed to suck some water down as quick as I could. So I got a liter in me. I got about 3 miles to go, but I just wanted to show you that was my water source. They said after I get up to Iron Mountain Shelter heading north, water gets a lot better, so I look forward to that.
Standing at the sea, then the wind blows the sand, and that little star is there to guide me. If only I could find my way to the ocean, I'm already there with you. Somewhere down the line we will never get to meet. I'll always wait for you after the rain.
Well, it's just after 7 Saturday morning, and I got in here into the shelter last night, and it was about 4:30, and set up my tent, just kind of relaxing around, and about 5:30 it started raining, so I climbed in my tent, and that's where I unfortunately stayed the whole night. It rained pretty bad, thunder and lightning, until about 8 o'clock, and kept going on until maybe 10 or 11, so I actually slept good until almost 12 o'clock when I woke up, and kind of that was when, you know, on and off all night long. I probably went to bed a little bit too early, but I was just so tired I laid down and I couldn't drag myself back out. Anyway, I've got either between 16 or 20 miles today, depending on where I go. Abingdon Shelter is like 16 miles, and if I can, I might go up to a campsite. It's a dry campsite, so I'll have to pack water out to it. It really just kind of depends how I feel and how the day's been going. It doesn't look like it's going to be too awful bad terrain-wise, except for like a 700-foot climb up to, I think it's Double Spring Shelter. But after that, it's pretty much all down that hill from there into Damascus, with a couple of blips and bumps in there. So another day, and it'll probably gonna be another good one. Not really paying me much attention, is it? Big old deer. And here I was just blowing my nose. Alright, I just reached the Grindstaff Monument. Uncle Nick Grindstaff, born December 26, 1851, died July 22nd, 1923. I don't know if this is actually a gravesite or just a monument to him, but just thought I'd take a really good note of that.
One in a million stars suddenly will hit satellite. Pick up some pieces, they'll be on your way. In the far land across. You standing there.
I apologize for not taking more video this morning, but it's been, as you can see, nothing but fogged in. And I've just reached the wheelchair or handicap, accessible area of trail here. So once I get to the end of this, I guess it's 4/10 of a mile, I will be heading up to Double Spring Shelter, which is, I think, like a 600 or 700 foot elevation gain. So hopefully by that time, when I get to the top, this will have burned off and I will be able to get some video for you. I hope it's not a boring second day for you and anybody else watching.
A million stars suddenly will hit satellite. I pick up some pieces, they'll be on your way. In the far land across, you standing at the sea. Then the wind blows the sand, and that lit a star is there to guide me.
Okay, it's 20 after 10, and I just arrived at Double Spring Shelter. I actually made it here a little bit quicker than I thought I would today. So the haul up from the handicap accessible trail up to here, it started pouring rain as soon as I got into the woods. So actually, you know, it didn't make things too awful bad for having to climb uphill. It kept me kind of cool, so it wasn't too it wasn't that unwelcome, let's just put it that way. And it looks like it's starting to slow down a little bit, but unfortunately I haven't been able to get a whole lot of video or pictures because it's been so fogged in. I maybe be able to see 20-30 yards down the trail at most. So I'm hoping it gets cleared up a little bit so I can get some better shots for you guys. So far everything's going good. I'm going to take a little breather here, get some snack, and head over to Abington Shelter and reassess the day from there. But until then, I'm going to try to stay dry for a little bit. Not sure exactly what this is. Looks like some kind of emergency shelter of some sort before Abington Shelter heading northbound. The way I'm heading. Well, it's 3 o'clock. I've made it to Abington Shelter. I've gone down and got water. If you do come to Abington, be aware that it is 2/10 of a mile straight downhill to get the water. Good water source, but it is a long haul down. And as you can see, it's still overcast. There was probably about 20 minutes of sunshine, which came and went as, you know, actually went as quick as it came. I had my cameras in my backpack in order to keep them dry. But it looks like it's supposed, well, it's going to rain here again a little bit. So I apologize that this trip hasn't been filled with a bunch of views and everything else. I've been pretty much socked into fog, except for the last hour, and I'm trying to talk myself into going another 4 miles to a campsite to give myself about 6 miles back to Damascus tomorrow, so I can get back to town at a decent time. I've got some things going on back at home that I got to take care of. So hopefully I will get some better sights. I haven't seen a lot of people out here, and I guess when I started this whole thing off, I was going to give some tips and tricks about solo hiking. I have not seen any bears. I have ran into a few people, probably about 6 or 7 people so far total on the trip. 2 who have seen bears, and 2 who have seen rattlesnakes. I must have just missed it because it was down at the road here, and the guy that I met here at this shelter, him and his son just headed off a little bit. They're going to try to get them back to Damascus tonight. But they took a picture of it. It looked like a pretty big rattlesnake. So I have missed out on some things, and the best thing I can say is when you're out hiking like this, to keep your mind occupied, just try to hike most of the day. You know, as I said, it's only 3 o'clock. I'm not overly concerned about staying out here by myself in any locale, but if you were to get into a place early like this, your mind would start to run rampant, and you might start to get yourself or talk yourself out of staying out. So just kind of plan your day so you can take like maybe a bigger break during the middle of the afternoon, and then keep hiking till close to dinner time or at night, and go ahead and go from there. But until later on, hopefully something else interesting happens other than more rain. Well, folks, I've had a slight change of plans. I originally was only going to go to the campsite. It was about 4 miles from Abingdon Shelter, and I must have got a second wind, and also I wasn't really clear as to which campsite they were talking about. Well, you could just see I just got to that trailhead there. It's only 4.8 miles from Damascus, and it's only 5:30. So, all I know is I went 5 miles in less than 2 hours. So I figure with the possibility of rain, and I actually still feel pretty decent after that 45-minute rest break at Abingdon, it gave me my second win. So I'm going to press on. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to get into town. There is a campsite, I guess 2.5 miles outside of it. But sometimes things just happen. And this one just means I got to get a hamburger sooner than I expected.
Somewhere down the line we will never get to meet. I'll always wait for you after the rain.
Made it back to Damascus, Virginia, and if you saw the sign behind me, and you were on a through hike, you would be having a very monumentous moment right there, because not only have you covered almost a fourth of the Appalachian Trail, you have just entered into Virginia, your fourth state, which some people think is kind of daunting because it is such a long state, but you got a lot of good things to look forward to. Coming into Damascus, a good trail town. You go right into the Grayson Highlands, which is incredible. Then you've got numbers of different things, you know, going on the Blue Ridge Park where you're going to cross. You're going to go ahead and get to the James River Bridge, and then you get Shenandoah. So this small adventure has come to an end for me. The next time, get out and hike.